Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Finger Guns with Tony, Dave, and James. I am Big Juicy Jimmy, and I'm here with
the tastiest of Big Tasty, Tony B.
Lovely, and
Dave, the destroyer of worlds, but not coughs.
No. So, yes, bear with us as we deal with another cough-filled episode of Dave, the coughing machine.
I'll get through it.
You'd think he'd be like a chain smoker at this point. He's fucking coughing so much. Jesus Christ.
That's what asthma does to you, Tony.
Yeah. This is not Harvey Firestein.
Yeah.
That would have been excellent if
that would have been excellent. That would have been excellent.
I want to go back to that.
Yeah.
That was the best.
You can do the Dave and go to Disneyland for a day.
And then come back talking like this. Hey, everybody, I'm Dave. Just came back on patient 0 for COVID.
You got to push it in further. It was fun. It was very unsettling. It was very unsettling. Did I tell you guys that I went back to work and they gave me the week off again? And then after that, I came back and they gave me another week off because people were getting disturbed by my voice. They're like, it's very unsettling, Dave. You need to go home.
It's lovely.
And they didn't like when I had to when I was hacking and stuff and coughing, even though I was covering my mouth. And they're like, you had a lot of mucus and stuff. I was like, yes. Mm-hmm. And I blew my nose and I did the gross thing that you guys don't like in the bathroom. Yeah. I didn't do it out in public.
Well, that's good. That's like, I mean, at least your house broken.
I need this guy on with me on the go train, man. When he had that cough, literally everybody just fucking scattered. It was beautiful. Yeah. We had our own cart to ourselves.
Mystery virus coming to
that was always
Dave hacking out a lung.
That was always a good one.
That was great.
I loved that.
That was the one small perk.
It's true. It's true.
Anyway, how are we feeling tonight, boys? I know what he's feeling. How are you feeling?
I'm tired as fuck. This week kind of sucks. So it always sucks. It's always slow as shit. The film industry's pretty much like drying up for the holidays.
Yeah. And, you think that they would be still going hard?
You'd think, but no, they're getting ready for the holidays. They're getting ready to pack it in and seeing us all in January.
Oh.
It's just a drag. It's a drag. It's a long drag right to Christmas.
Right to the bitter end,
yeah.
And then, right on. You taking some holidays?
Yeah, we're taking some holidays.
That's nice.
And
that's nice.
Yeah. Dave? Well, we know who you are.
Every day's a holiday for me. Every day's a vacation day for me.
How you
count down the days, man. I'm just counting down the days. I've checked out at work. I had to do my my performance review today.
That's hilarious.
You have to review yourself or whatever, which is always the worst thing in the world.
Of course.
I'm honestly going to give myself a 90%.
Absolutely. Biggest raise imaginable.
I'm going to give myself an 85. I feel like I could have done better work this year.
But I'm mentally checked out because I'm leaving for California on Thursday, babies.
Good.
Very excited.
Very nice.
Very, very excited.
Very nice. I've been checked out all this month, so
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Dave's been checked out all year, so it's okay.
True. It's true.
You guys say that, but I've had to be on my game at some points because an 11-month-old and a 3-year-old are a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, I meant checked out on you're here for being a dad, but you've checked out from the world.
Yeah, I'm a dad and I'm a critic and occasionally I'm a husband. I'm gonna be honest. Occasionally I'm a husband.
Once in a while a co-host.
Other than that, checked out.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Do we want to talk about some movies?
We do.
That's fucking good.
Let's do it. A Christmas special. So want to do a little best, my worst?
Yes, sir.
Who wants to start us off? Don't be festive for me, buddy.
I'll do it. I'll do it. So my best, my worst is a little weak this time around, but I'm gonna try to make it sound good.
Okay.
What are you gonna say there?
Spooky.
Weak in that it's. I don't have many to choose from.
Oh, okay.
You know me, man. If you look at my letterbox thing, it's at least
I've seen
12 to 15 a week. It's just there's not a lot to choose from. Yeah. I've been marathoning Christmas movies with Melissa.
That's lovely.
So for my best, I'm going to do The Santa Claus
Oh, Tim Allen.
Tim Allen.
I love that.
The movie's fucking great.
Sure.
Seeing it as an adult, it definitely hits differently.
Yeah.
Very fat phobic.
Very fat phobic. He's just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
A real redemption story too. And like,
he's playing Tim Allen.
He's playing Tim Allen.
They made him such a scumbag in the beginning. That's all I remember about him, is just being like a real piece of shit father and husband. Like,
real
just
fucking dick.
Like bottom of the barrel.
I don't think he was a he was a subpar dad.
No, he was pretty shitty.
He could have been better, but we know a thing or two about subpar dads, Tony, and I don't think he's that bad. He tried to make it up.
Yeah, okay. He wasn't beating his kid with a bag of sweet Valencia oranges, but like, he wasn't great.
But what I will say, go ahead,
Tony. I'll tell you what my thing is after.
I was gonna say, what I will say is, the movie changes every watch, and I liked it significantly more than I've ever liked it watching it. And I got kind of emotional because it like really, like, when you think of like the magic of Christmas, like everyone says, oh, like the magic is not real, blah blah blah. When you're watching this movie, you fucking believe. Like, you believe in the magic of Christmas. You believe in the magic of Santa Claus and like what Christmas is all about.
Sure.
And it wraps it up neatly in a nice little bow. I will still admit, I still have a shit-eating grin on my face when they do that montage to what's the
Sharp Dressed Man?
Sharp Dressed Man.
Yeah.
Right, with the elves, and they're dancing, they're getting ready, and like the police are ready to fucking go out and stuff. That
was the first take.
I bet. But that fucking montage, like, you can't help but, like, it just makes you want to fucking dance.
Sure.
And the other part that always brings a smile to my face is when they break out Santa out of jail, and they bring the tinsel and like they're like stuffing the. Oh my god, that scene just still hits for me. But yeah, it wasn't one of my favorites to start with, but the more I watch it, Melissa loves the franchise for some godly ass reason. She loves the second one. We both agree that the third one shouldn't have been made, and that I just see it as not a movie, and it doesn't exist.
What about the show?
I didn't bother watching it. Don't need to watch it. Tim Allen's apparently the biggest piece of shit on set. No surprise there.
The new season has Fluffy in it.
Anyways.
You're not a big Fluffy fan?
No, I'm not a big fan of Fluffy. Yeah, the Santa Claus.
Nice.
I didn't remember most of it. Like, it's really not a Christmas. It's more about the law case. Like
because it's weirdly partially Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah. It's like I don't remember all the court stuff, and I was just like, wait, like this isn't like.
While you were sitting here talking about it, I was in my head. I was like, is that the Santa Claus, or is that Miracle on 34th Street with fucking what's her nuts?
Mara Wilson?
Yeah, it's in Mara Wilson.
That's the remake.
The remake, yeah.
And Richard Attenborough.
Yes, but like I was conflating them in my head because they have weirdly similar storylines,
and they came out the same year.
Yeah.
But it's so weird. And I would keep going over to Melissa. She's like, yeah, this isn't what you remember. Like, it's definitely not what you remember as a child.
You kind of glaze over that part.
Right?
Yeah.
But the scenes, like, they hit so hard.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, like, holy shit. Like, this is bigger than just like, your fluff piece kids Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's got something in there for everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's good.
Definitely seek it out.
You say all that, but like, the movie's 90 and change minutes long. The first 40 minutes is literally him being a piece of shit and becoming Santa and going back home.
Yeah.
And Charlie's just like, you're Santa. And everyone's like, no, he's not. Yeah. That's the first 40 minutes of that movie. And then there's like maybe like 25 minutes of what you're talking about, the court stuff. Yeah. And then he's Santa again. It's very short, very quick.
It moves at a lightning, like, break your neck. Like that fucking the montage that I'm talking about, that happens at like the hour mark.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? And then from then on, it's like literally like a race to the finish.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying though. Like, we're talking about this, but like, that's a small part of the movie. It's mostly all Santa stuff.
True.
Filmed in Canada, or filmed in Ontario, because he's definitely driving in Oakville. Like that Denny's is in Oakville. Yeah. I know exactly where it is, or where it was. Yeah. Driving to his house is the Danforth.
Yep. Oh, sure.
And then where is he in Pickering or like Osh, the Dirty Schwa?
I think it's the Dirty Schwa.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
But when I last watched it,
apologies for anybody in the Schwa.
When I last watched it, I watched it recently too because Quinny's on it. I've never seen the second one or the third one. I watched part of the second one. I wasn't really that interested, but I'll go back to it because I need to complete my letterbox list.
Sure.
There's a lot of filthy humor in it.
Oh,
or
for
like
sure.
Less than childlike humor. Like he says something to the one elf, and he says something to her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm already spoken for. I'm dating someone and I'm seeing somebody in rapping."
Jesus.
And then later,
I caught that too.
Later, they're like, what did you do with Charlie on Christmas Eve? Can you tell us? He's like, well, we shared some brown liquor. We looked up women. We field dressed a cat. I was just like, every time he says field dressed a cat, I just die because that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have caught that as a kid.
No, some of the shit that comes...
and they shared a bowl of sugar, and Alyssa thought he meant sugar as in sugar.
Yeah.
No.
Not what Tim Allen most certainly is calling a bowl of sugar.
Yeah.
Which for a Disney movie, and the fact that he was arrested for sugar, for holding sugar.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Some of the things that are just out of Tim Allen's mouth is just like, you can't believe that this is a Disney movie because like only in the 90s can Tim Allen get away with saying this shit in a Disney movie.
Exactly.
Like that shit would not fly now.
No.
You cried when Judge Reinhold got his weenie whistle, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I cried like a little bit.
Yeah. My weenie whistle.
No, but what part really fucking... No. It was the part when Charlie was getting his stuff and then he was like, okay, let's go. And then Tim Allen's like, no, I think you should stay with Mom and Neil. And then he like literally cries to him. There's like, no, Dad, I want to go with you. And I'm just broke me.
Oh,
I'm just
Tony.
the ugliest fucking crying that you could have possibly imagined. It got me. It got
buddy.
me. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. And then Judge Reinhardt getting the fucking weenie whistle, and then it just like,
sure,
I just couldn't.
Okay, I got one more. He says at the end of the movie, it's the end of the movie when Santa's leaving, and he's like, he says something to Charlie, or somebody says something to Charlie about growing up or something. He's like, when I grow up, I want to get into the family business.
Yeah.
As in becoming Santa, which means that he needs to murder his dad. Or his dad needs to fall off the roof and he needs to put the suit on.
Yeah.
Bleak.
I did like that he kept saying, but what happens if I fall off the roof?
God.
It's good shit.
Yeah.
It's good shit.
It's a good one. Jimmy.
I don't have a best, my worst. I'm going to talk about 3 movies.
What the fuck is the point of having this segment?
I don't know. Sometimes. I don't know. I've just been watching good movies. What do you want from me?
All right. We should all be so lucky.
Yes, we should. First
Thrill me.
one I want to talk about is... Well, actually, you know what? Maybe I will have a worst in there. Let me see how this goes out.
All right.
I think I want to talk about 2 kind of back to back because I've been myself and my girlfriend have been watching all of the Star Wars movies, and we just finished watching A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back.
Good stuff.
But I got to watch and appreciate, thanks to internet fanboys who have diligently created this, the original scans from the original theatrical prints of both of those movies.
Nice.
That have been like upscaled to 4K and in nice surround sound still, pulling off the original audio prints. But it has been such an interesting thing to witness. Just kind of appreciating like what... And I know there's something to be said for like the special editions, and you know, George Lucas has been kind of trying to get the movies to the vision that he wanted to have back in the 70s, but was limited by technology. And kind of he did what the best he could, and that was it. But there's still something to be said for that, of seeing what audiences back in like 1977 and 1980 would have seen when they went to the movie theaters and saw these movies for the first time. And I think it's just kind of interesting to see as like a piece of film history of like this is what it was. This is what the original hype was all about, what everyone loved. Like, the entire watching A New Hope, and then you get to, first of all, there's no Lucasfilm logo, which is very odd.
Right.
Weird thing for Empire was, so A New Hope had no episode title. It just was A New Hope.
They didn't even call it A New Hope, did they? Didn't the fucking crawl just start?
It did just start. You're right.
It was Star Wars, and then the crawl just started.
And the crawl. And then for Empire, it was titled Episode 5.
Yeah.
So like it was already determined that this was going to be the 5th episode in a weird series.
Yeah.
But he made that decision in 1980, which is like a weird thing to kind of see and just be like, it threw us both off. We were like, wait a minute, did they take a version from somewhere else because they couldn't have the opening crawl? And then I looked it up and nope, it was already Episode 5.
I think he had called it Episode 4 shortly before that.
Yeah, the original prints didn't have it.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, like when he started re-releasing it when it was coming up to Empire, I think that's when he put it in.
Yeah. So just interesting about that sort of foresight. And then, like you get to the scene where, does Han or Greedo shoot first? Who shot first? And like you can see the original cut before it's been kind of altered and doctored and is now very explicitly clear that Han shot first.
Yeah.
But back then it was like, oh, what's the debate? And honestly, actually watching it, you're like, yeah, no, Han shot first. Like it's pretty fucking evident. I don't know why it was ever a question.
It's because they wanted to make Han. They wanted to redo Han, so he was always a nice guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't a fucking cowboy from the start.
Yeah.
But Han was a cowboy.
That's what I'm saying. Like they kind of tried to
Yeah, but the things that are missing from it are interesting. Like there's no scene with Jabba and the Millennium Falcon. That was added in later.
Yeah.
And
there's only like 2 ships
that
come off Yavin 4.
There's only like 2 ships that come off of Yavin 4. Some of the effects are not, like the explosions are a lot smaller than what they end up being in like the special edition. So like you can see the changes, but even still you look at
the
it.
Special wow. When he redid them again, when he did them for the special editions, they were bigger explosion. But then when he redid them again, they were like nuclear explosions.
Yeah. Now they're monstrosities. But even like, but watching it though, like like the first fucking Star Destroyer comes overhead as it's chasing after Princess Leia's ship. And just even still the lighting effects back then with like how practical that was and like all the miniature models and like, but the lighting that they achieved in there of like coming off the engines, like the blue with the lens flare, it's beautiful to look at. And like that continues on in Empire. Empire is a lot more complete. There hasn't been that many changes to Empire. It's
Cloud City. They actually show Cloud City. They barely show it in that one. They barely
show it, but even still, like the matte paintings in the background of Cloud City are beautiful Art Deco pieces. Like it's less. They had to do less to that movie than they had to do to A New Hope. Like that one's more complete.
And that's because he invented all the technology.
Yeah, exactly. He figured it all out.
And he had more money.
Yes.
The first one is an independent film, one of the most popular independent films, or most successful independent films of all time, versus Empire, which is
now
a Fox movie.
Yeah. In Empire though, like the cut, like the prints that they got were a lot worse off. There was definitely more restoration for A New Hope than there was for Empire. Empire sourcing the prints for that seemed to be a bit tougher because there were some spots that were like, woof, this is not fun.
Not surprised.
But still interesting to see again, like how an audience would have experienced that. And so after this, we'll do Jedi as well in the same format and see how that looks too.
My parents or my dad would have had to have done it. He recorded Empire and Return of the Jedi off Super Channel or whatever the fuck in the 80s. And I'm curious what they look like if they are close to your specialized editions that you're discussing. Yeah. I'm curious if they look like that or if they've been slightly altered or not. Because I know the box set I have over there is the last time he did the original versions, quote unquote.
The
half face
the gold one?
Yeah. No, it's the half face ones.
The black one.
It's black, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the gold one's the special edition. I know that. But it's like they're all half-faced. And I know that is the last time he did the original versions before he started to actually like literally toying
editions.
The Too Many Banthas editions.
Yeah.
But I've seen this despecialized Star Wars. I've never seen the despecialized Empire or Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But I do vividly remember watching Return of the Jedi without fucking what's the song? Jedi, Yay Jedi or something.
Oh yeah.
Like
that's
in,
right.
in Jabba's Palace. It's something called like Yay Jedi or Jedi.
With the weird dancing
creatures. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. And like, yeah. There's not much to say about Star Wars. Like,
and that's why I'm talking about the special, like the edition that I watched. Not about. There's nothing I can fucking say about Star Wars.
Yeah, you already know.
Yeah,
you already.
It was just interesting to watch sort of it at from a historical lens of when it came out and what it looked like back then.
What's your favorite?
Out of all of them, or just out of the original 3?
Both.
Original 3, it's Empire.
Yeah,
I've always been an Empire boy.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, probably A New Hope.
Yeah.
When I think about it holistically across all 9. But if I think about the original 3, I like Empire more than New Hope. But
my favorite was always Return of the Jedi.
Really?
So was mine.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's because it's the first one I saw.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It's because it's the first one I saw. Because like when we saw it, it was like when they were drumming up that they were re-releasing it again.
Yeah.
Did we watch Return of the Jedi first? I thought
we did.
I thought we watched New Hope first.
We watched Return of the Jedi off the tape, the recorded tape first,
tape,
and then they bought the box set, and then I believe we watched Empire off the recorded tape again. But then we would have watched the new ones because they looked better because they weren't recorded off a fucking off a thing. But I do vividly remember we were not allowed to watch the first one until Dad was off shift. He really wanted to watch the first one with us.
Huh. Yeah, he did.
Which I think is impressive because it's like, okay, well, we already watched the other ones. Like, it's not as impressive, but I know that was a big deal for him. And my favorite's Return of the Jedi, Ewoks and all.
Sure.
I think it's just because I love the Jabba stuff.
That's fair.
It's its own like little
the
movie.
Rancor.
I love all that, and I love.
It's a good sequence.
I think Sail Barge Attack is my favorite track.
Oh, okay.
I think that's my favorite John Williams track, other than like the
theme,
and the medal ceremony at the end of the first one.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But I love Sail Barge Attack and
not Duel of the Fates.
Like we're talking like the top, the pinnacle of 3.
What
right?
about the glowing orb song at the end of episode 1?
Jesus.
Yeah, it's so fun.
and how it ends, where they're like, "Oh, this is happy-go-lucky," and Emperor Palpatine's just like looking at him. He's like,
"Yeah,
I'm coming back for you later."
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Out of all of them, I would still pick Star Wars, New Hope too. What about you?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I grew up loving Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi was one of my favorites, but now as an adult, I think my favorite would be A New Hope.
Yeah.
Only because it's more iconic.
Yeah.
It's more like it's the one that's held up the most.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's just such a classic, and I will go this far, and I would say it's perfect. It is literally perfect.
Yeah.
From frame to frame, it is perfect.
Yeah. All 3 of the original trilogy is pretty close.
Even with all the Banthas?
The Too Many Banthas edition?
No, fuck the Too Many Banthas edition. But it's
no,
if he didn't fuck with it, like even if he just left it alone, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think it all works.
Yeah.
I've come around to it. I used to be like, no, stop fucking with your movie, but you know what? He's trying to get to where he wanted to be anyway, so.
And I read this once, and it makes perfect sense. He went through a nasty divorce.
Yeah.
Nasty, nasty divorce. And the money he owed was like the profits from Star Wars type thing. Like what he made off Star Wars, he had to split it or whatever the split was.
Yeah.
but when he redoes it, it's a
It's
different
his.
movie.
Yeah.
So if he redoes it, it's not the same movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he makes.
So
he
he
makes
redid
money.
it.
So he could keep
so
the
he
money.
could keep the money.
Genius.
Also, a fun byproduct of that messy divorce that he went through. Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
The whole
It
reason
makes
that
so
movie
much-
exists is
Makes so much
because
sense.
him and Spielberg, I think, were going through divorces. At
They
the
were going
exact
through some
same
dark
time.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a dark time.
Love it. Is that why Temple of Doom's so fucking dark?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. They were working through their problems.
Well, I don't like Cronenberg made The Brood, so like
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that
some
tells
of
you
the
a lot.
some of the
He was in a
these
dark
people-
place, David.
these people have some demons, all right.
Cronenberg's had demons his entire career.
That's
Yeah.
true. I still wanted Cronenberg's Return of the Jedi, man.
Oh man, that would have had some demons.
David, you're
Anyway,
best.
Dave.
So I rewatched May December again, and it's still fucking
What?
why. Yeah, Alyssa was upset that I watched it because I had to watch it for the podcast. And she's like, "You already watched it?" I was like, "Well, I'll fuck around and watch it again if you want." And that was
Sure.
less than 48 hours after I watched it the first time. Boys, it's still just as weird, still just as creepy, maybe even creepier.
Really?
Yeah,
Great.
still just as unsettling. Still hits the same bars. A little more devastating on Charlie Melton. But the movie I want to talk about, since I'm talking about devastating, is Sean Durkin's The Iron Claw, which I caught
Ooh,
last week
okay,
at the
yeah.
Canadian premiere, which apparently Jay Baruchel was at, but he didn't say what up to his boy, so I'm very, very upset. What was I gonna say? So that film comes out this Friday.
Yeah.
And do you guys know anything about the Von Erich family?
I don't.
Okay.
No, we were talking about this on the weekend too,
Okay.
and I was like,
So
I don't know a lot.
So apparently they were cursed. That's the whole like crux. They're a wrestling family. Like the dad was a wrestler and he kind of got his sons into wrestling
yes.
type thing. And he's kind of like an over domineering father type thing, pushing them to the limit. And like he never won the belt, so he wants them to win the belt, whatever. So there's supposed to be a curse on this
Right.
family.
Right.
And like, if you guys don't know what happens to them, don't look it up.
Okay.
Because it's actually worse than what happened. Like the movie is inspired by,
Oh, I see.
but it takes a couple of liberties and it cuts out one of the brothers entirely, which poor bastard. But it's just, if you don't know, it hit every time something awful happens, it's just a grueling hit you in the fucking stomach
Dang.
moment. And it's just like you're sitting there and you're like, how could this get worse? And then it gets worse.
Oh my
Jesus.
gosh.
And you're just like, oh my God.
No wonder you were so lovey-dovey.
And then but so it's really well done. I really, really enjoyed it.
Sure.
The wrestling scenes are pretty dope.
Yeah.
He kind of shoots them. He doesn't shoot them the same way they do in Creed, but it's that style where like you're in the ring or you're like on the ropes type thing, watching
Nice.
them do the shit. And it's clearly them.
Similar to how Aronofsky did it with The Wrestler.
Not as intense.
Not as intense.
Not as intense. And it's like that one's more like, because he was into hardcore matches and stuff and like the theatricality of wrestling.
Yeah.
Right. And like every time he like, when I think of The Wrestler, I think of I think of Marissa Tomei with nipple rings, but I also think of them pulling staples out of him or stitching him up because he like goes like he just puts his body through hell.
Yeah.
And then you see what his body like the shell of a man he is.
Yeah.
This one's a little more like they're pretty boys type thing, and like they're doing the face and the heel thing type thing, and they're working all that out, but it's not like viciously violent.
Yeah.
I guess because it was like more like 70s and 80s type thing. But just like the way he shoots it is great, and I'm sure 2007 Dave would never believe this is coming out of my mouth, but Zac Efron is amazing. He's so fucking good in this movie.
Nice.
Like he has some really great scenes and he has some really understated scenes, and you're sitting there and you're like, this fucking pretty boy from High School Musical is an actor now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's the physicality and just like the emotion, like you're like, why haven't you been doing this the whole time,
Yeah.
Efron?
Yeah.
What you been doing with yourself?
Right.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Allen White
Of course.
is awesome.
Well, he's awesome in everything
He's not in it as much as I wanted him to be in it, but he's very, very good. And I liked Harris Dickinson and the dad, who's a real piece of fucking shit.
Holt, what's his name?
Holt, yeah. Holt McNulty or whatever. I think is his name.
The guy from Mindhunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's always like a supporting character, and he's
always
very
like that guy kind of thing.
Yeah, like, but he's like front and center
Holt
of this.
McCallany.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's front and center in this movie, and like he is a despicable piece of dog shit, and he's very good at it.
Yeah, I can see him being good at that kind of role.
Like Maura Tierney is good, but they don't use her nearly enough. And is it Lily James?
Lily James.
Lily James is pretty good in this as well. But all of that to say, it goes through a lot, and the timeline is clear at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because like it starts off as like, this is 1969, Dallas in 1969. And then kind of like goes through the 70s type thing. And then it starts into the 80s. But then it starts really jumping.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're kind of like, okay, well, I don't really have a frame of reference right now. Because like the movie ends in like the mid 90s type thing. And you're like, okay, well, I didn't realize we had jumped that far.
Yeah.
So there's like a whole little like, it's like as the second act's going into the third, it just like time wise, it doesn't quite come together as nicely. But then there's a pair of scenes right at the end. And I swear to God, they are the most emotional things I've seen all year.
Wow.
One has Zac Efron, and he starts talking. I couldn't even look at him because I was just ready to cry. Like as he's talking, I'm just like, oh my God, I can't look up or I'm going to start bawling my eyes out.
Oh, jeez.
And then Jeremy Allen White has a scene too, and it's a fucking punch in the gut.
Yeah.
But it's so beautiful, and it's so beautifully done. And it could have gone his scene specifically could have gone so fucking wrong. But the way he does, like, because it starts, you're just like, what the fuck are you doing? And then the way it goes, I'm just like, this is cinema, boys. This is cinema.
Damn.
Nice.
But yeah, all of this to say, it's grueling. It's a downer. It's really, really well done. And I urge you all to go see it.
Perfect.
And I shall.
Yeah.
I was just seeing what else Sean Durkin has done.
Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene.
Yeah.
Which, have you seen that?
No.
That movie's a trip. And The Nest.
The Nest.
Yeah, that one's not. I don't like that one as much, but it's pretty good too. You like The Nest?
That was decent.
Yeah, it's not Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene.
I've never seen that one.
You guys owe it to yourself to watch that movie.
I'll pick it up off your shelf.
It's
Dead Ringers.
The
TV show.
The show, right?
TV show, yeah. And he did Southcliffe. Interesting.
Yeah, he hasn't done he's kind of like had like blips. He isn't as prolific as he should be, but yeah, you guys should definitely check out Martha Marcy.
All right.
That one's a journey.
I can put that on my list.
It's a slow burn, but it's a journey.
Sick.
Tony.
So, for my meh, I have a film that I know both of you have never heard of. It was a new one on Netflix. I've actually spotted it on top 10 Netflix original movies of the year. It is a Korean film called Ballerina.
I do know what that is.
I'm very surprised.
I haven't watched it, but I do know what that is.
Talk to me, Goose.
Ballerina, simple premise.
Yeah.
Girl
Is it about a ballerina?
It's about a ballerina. Yeah.
Sick.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. It is about an assassin who befriends a ballerina.
Right.
Becomes friends with her. Becomes really close with her.
Right.
One day she goes and sees her, and her friend has killed herself.
Oh.
And she has left a note that says, "Avenge me."
Oh no.
As
you do.
So the movie is about this woman.
Yeah.
Who avenges her friend.
Oh.
And it's about 90 minutes.
Cool.
It is neon soaked.
Right. Drenched
Asian movie. I love it.
Lots of bisexual lighting.
Lots of bisexual lighting.
Excellent.
It's a little light. It's a little paper thin on the plot.
Sure.
Because there's like this like sex trafficking thing and like gangsters and it's really thin. Motivations are very like not well thought out.
Avenge me.
Yeah.
Cool, bro.
Right. But once once you've seen one, you've seen them all kind of thing.
Okay.
Right. But the action, top notch. Like, I could not say a bad thing about the action. There's so many gunfights. There's so many fist fights. The ending, the way the ending goes, it is a holy shit, man. Because you get a little, you get like, they plant the seed during the movie, and you're like, I bet that's gonna come into play later.
Right.
And boy, it does.
Ooh.
And
check
it is
off seed.
Check off seed.
Yeah.
Ew.
Let's just say Chekhov's fire.
Oh, okay.
Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
Overall, I was just a little bit mad on it, only because, like I said, you've seen one. You see, it's hard to keep doing the revenge movie, right? Like, you know, this girl's an assassin. You know, this girl like fucks shit up. Like right from the fucking get go. There's these guys in a convenience store, and they're holding the place up. And she just like sneaks on by and just puts like a can on the thing, being like, "Can I buy this?" She doesn't want anything to do with anything around it. She's just like, "Can I buy this?" And the guy's like, looking. He's like, "Yeah, okay." She gives him the money, and he's like, "Unfortunately, I don't have any change." Right?
Yeah.
Because he's getting fucking robbed.
Sure.
So she looks over at the guy and takes the money out of the fucking bag, and he's like, "Oh, it's okay, I got it." And the guys are like, "What the fuck?" Like. And then they goes to swing at her, and she like just holds up the can. He like punches the can, and then
God.
like she just lays waste to these guys, and then she just leaves. That's really all I gotta say about it. It's I don't think you should necessarily seek it out immediately, but definitely keep it in the back of your mind for sure.
Cool.
It's a good one.
It just throws me off because the new Ana de Armas John Wick spinoff is called Ballerina as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right?
So it keeps throwing me off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still have to watch that TV show.
Yeah,
the Continental.
I do too.
On the list.
It's on the list.
I'll watch it on the flight.
Do it up, buddy. It's not that long a flight.
There's
it's 5 hours. I got time.
It's feature-length episodes, bro.
Yeah, I got time. I'll squeak them in.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'm going to end up just talking about 3 movies. So, since Tony had sold us viciously on it last episode, Dave and I decided to go see Godzilla Minus One.
Didn't we see like the next day or something? It was like 2 days later.
It was like 2 days later. Yeah. So, excellent. And the movie is fucking fun. It's just fun.
It's a good one.
I had a really good time.
Yeah.
I don't think I loved it as much as you did.
Yeah.
But I still really enjoyed it.
Good.
The sound was incredibly loud.
Unreal.
I don't really understand why it needed to be in an IMAX, to be honest. I don't think any of it was shot in IMAX.
I
think it's just an excuse to play it loud.
It could have been in an AVX and it would have been fine, but whatever. It's fine. It was IMAX. Or Limax.
Yeah. Him laying waste to Giza. Is it Giza?
Ginza?
Ginza?
Yeah.
Ginza.
Insane. It was so great. Like, the Godzilla looked great.
So good, right?
He looked menacing, is what he looked like.
Menacing
he looked
as
fucking
heck.
terrifying.
Maybe not so much in the beginning opening scene on the little island. I felt like that was kind of a little bit goofy.
Yeah.
But yeah, once he gets into Ginza, nuts. And like even in the water where you can't really see him and he's laying waste to the ships and stuff, crazy.
That's that scene where they're just like, Godzilla's approaching, and then like literally the next frame is just him hawking the fucking shit.
Yeah.
They're like, we gotta go. We gotta get this.
We gotta go.
Plan B.
What are you all like fucking moseying around on the dock for? You should have been out already. Anyway, fuck. Yeah, I appreciated how much more human the story was, something that like I'll say the American Godzilla movies have struggled with consistently. Whereas they were able to really work a really human story into a Godzilla movie.
And you care about the humans, man.
Yeah. You could probably cut out a lot of the Godzilla stuff and it would still work as a pretty solid human movie. And I mean, like, I think the biggest, greatest achievement of that movie was the one gentleman that passed out and snored through the entire thing. It was probably the best part of that entire experience. And the fact that also it took Dave a little bit to notice what was going on, because there was, like it's loud, but there's also a lot of quiet moments, right? Where it's just like the family, or they're in the house and they're just talking or something, and there's moments of quiet, and literally every single quiet moment was just punctuated by a so like the entire theater, and I heard it, and I started giggling, and I was like, what the fuck? And I look over at Dave, and Dave's like, what are you? And then all you hear is and Dave's like, oh no.
I love that you say that, because like during one of the quiet moments in my screening, all of a sudden music started to play, right?
Oh no.
And then there was a bunch of us that were just like, is that the radio? Like, is there a radio playing or something? And we're like looking around. People are like looking at us, and we're like, it's not me. Like, what the fuck's the deal?
Yeah.
We look up into the corner. Fucking bitch's phone is just ringing, and she's totally oblivious to it.
God.
And we're like, excuse me, can you get your phone? And
God.
they're all like scrambling for it. No one knows who phoned it. So like for a good 5 minutes, it was like a search to be like, whose phone is that? But it was like, oh my God, man.
That's frustrating. At least ours was hilarious.
No, but it was just funny though, because it was like that Spider-Man moment. It was like, is it your phone? Is it your phone? No, it's your phone.
Yeah.
Right? So
and not our West Side Story experience, where they just filmed an entire section of the movie in the theater.
Oh my Christ.
There's 7 people in the theater. There's 7 people in the theater. You're sitting in front of 5 of them. Don't do it. You shouldn't be filming in the theater in the first place.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have to do it, just go back. Go behind.
Yeah.
No one's gonna hold it against you.
Yeah.
I know we have reserved seats, but there's 7 of us. Have some fucking respect. Come on. You knew we were there. It's not like you didn't know we were there.
Silly.
Oh, man.
And it was just for one song, and you can watch it on YouTube after the movie. It's probably up there. But anyway, circling all the way back to Godzilla, fucking highly recommend. I know, Dave, you would probably recommend as well.
I would.
For me, it was a go fucking see it. Go out there,
so
watch
good.
it.
So good.
I just want to know
just a lot of fun.
How tired that guy was, because everyone was chuckling and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't notice at first, because there were a couple of stoners that left to go smoke a joint or whatever, and they came back and they were kind of just acting like fucking skeevy stoners. But then James mentioned it, and I saw the guy back there, and then everyone, when the credits were up, it's like deep into the credits.
Oh, the house lights are up. Everyone's leaving the theater.
Everyone left, and they're just looking at him. People taking pictures. I was like, I've slept in movies. I get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're tired.
Yeah.
And everyone's just looking at him. I was like, is someone going to fucking wake him up?
Yeah.
Because I've seen TikToks where the guy's like, yo, I just woke up at the movies and nobody's here.
Yeah. I've seen that too. Yeah, he's like trying to leave and he can't. It's all locked.
Get out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want somebody to do that to me.
Yeah.
Don't do me dirty like that. So I went up and I could see the person in the booth. I was like, people still go in the booth?
Yeah.
They were looking at me as I was doing it, because it was like, if I didn't do it, they might have done it.
Yeah.
But I went up to him, and his shoes were off. He was he wasn't homeless.
Comfy.
He wasn't homeless, but he was comfy.
Comfortable.
He was very, very comfy. And gave him a little nudge. Give him another little nudge. Nothing. Harder nudge. Nothing. I basically pushed him over.
Yeah.
And he looked at me like he just woke up out of a coma.
Yeah.
And I was just like, movie's over. Because he looked at me, looked at the screen, looked at me, looked at the screen, and then I was like, movie's over, bro.
It finally clicked and registered me. Yeah. Shout out to that guy for paying $25 to go take a nap.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Rough. Although that happy-go-lucky montage where it was just like a family sitcom, that was weird.
Yeah.
That part was weird.
That was a lot of fun.
It's just a fun movie,
it's
man.
Fun.
I loved it. It was so good.
Dave.
So speaking of sleeping in movies, I guess this would be a low best high meh, is the new Alexander Payne joint, The Holdovers.
Oh,
I'm very happy that you're bringing up this movie.
Yeah,
because it's gonna tie into my Shutter Minute.
Okay. Good. So I guess we're talking about Christmas movies. So this is a Christmas movie.
Sure.
I saw this movie at TIFF.
Yeah.
Your boy helped sneak me into it because I wasn't gonna get in.
Right.
So he helped me out. So shout out to him.
Shout out to Shaw.
Shout out to Shaw for helping me out. Doing me a solid because they put it in the smallest fucking theater for some stupid reason. I'm pretty certain I slept through at least like 35% of that movie.
Oh, good Lord.
Because I was watching it and I'm like, I don't remember any of this. And there's like a whole chunk of the movie where I was like, I don't remember any of this.
Yeah.
Because like certain bit, I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. Okay, I slept through this 5-minute bit. No. There's like a 25-minute section of the movie where I was just like, okay, I slept through this.
Yeah, I love it.
All of that to say, I know a lot of people really love it. I think it's very good, but I think it's a little too slow for my liking. It's a little too 70s sluggish for me.
Everyone's going nuts about this movie.
Like, it's really well done. Like, Paul Giamatti, like, of course, Paul Giamatti's good. He's the curmudgeonly fucking... Do you know the pitch? Do you know what the movie's about?
I know what the movie's about.
Yeah.
And I know...
Do you know what the movie's about?
Yeah.
Okay. And I know the internet meme of Paul Giamatti at the party.
Oh, yeah. That's turned into a big thing.
Yeah. I'm very excited when I see this movie to see this moment, to see what the whole hubbubaloo is about.
I slept through that part. So when it happened, I was like,
nice.
Aw, I want to just give him a hug now. And then I saw that it was a meme. I was like, oh, I wish I knew more about that in September. But all that to say, Giamatti, amazing. Divine? Is that what you were calling it? Divine
Rudolph?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say.
Divine Joy Rudolph, I think is what her name is. Or Randolph. Amazing.
She's the front.
So
she's
good.
The front runner.
She's the front runner for a reason.
Yeah.
She's very good. Every time she's on the screen, you're just like glue. She's so good.
Wow. She's the cop in After Party, isn't she?
No, only murders.
Only murders. That's what it is.
The cop in the After Party is Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And then the kid, Dominic Senna.
Yep.
He is very good.
Dominic Sessa.
Sessa. He's very, very good. It takes him a little bit to kind of warm up, but then when you get into the heart of the story, he's very, very good. Like, it's just a great movie. It has the 70s look and feel. Like, it starts off with like a fake Focus Features logo that they would have had in the 70s.
Wow.
Nice.
Like, it even has like this motion picture is rated R type thing, but it's the 70s one.
Yeah.
So I like the look. I like the feel. I like how invested in the characters you get, and how Giamatti is just fucking aces.
Sure.
But yeah, there's just like, it's not, I said sluggish earlier. It's just like, it's very just, the pacing's not for me.
Yeah. Not quite your tempo?
Not quite my tempo.
Not my
It
tempo.
needed to kind of speed up a little bit.
How does it because I know we like Alexander Payne's movies. I'm specifically saying his movies.
We do, except for Downsizing.
Except for Downsizing, obviously.
Or sorry, the second half of Downsizing.
Have
you seen Downsizing?
No, I haven't.
Okay, don't
do
Right.
it.
I wasn't planning on it.
Now, especially now, don't do it.
Okay.
How does The Holdover stack up against his other movies? Because he has a couple bangers in his filmography.
I think it's really, he didn't write it.
Okay.
Which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because he usually writes his own stuff. So it's interesting when somebody who writes their own stuff does something that someone else wrote.
Yeah.
So I think because it feels and it looks like a Payne movie, but he didn't write it. So it's kind of like he kind of injected it. But well, it's not Sideways, obviously.
Nothing is Sideways. And nothing is Election either.
Nothing's Election or Descendants, but I would put it like kind of under there.
Under there?
Yeah. Like,
okay.
It's miles ahead of Downsizing. Miles ahead of Downsizing. And I liked it a little more than Nebraska.
I was going to say, how does it measure against Nebraska?
Like, I don't mind Nebraska, but it we're talking about pacing. Nebraska.
Right. Yeah. Nebraska's a fucking slow burn.
June Squibb though in that movie.
Aces. Bruce Stern, man.
And Bruce Stern. I think June Squibb has like an action movie coming out soon.
Can't wait for that.
I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. It's well done. It's very well done. The hype is warranted. It just I wanted it to be a little quicker on the pacing. So I know why I fell asleep, but watching it like kind of not after watching a marathon of movies, just watching it on its own, probably recommend it.
Nice.
So, and yeah, it'll be a new Christmas classic.
Okay. All right.
I love that.
Praise.
Yeah.
I'll be seeing it before the end of the year.
I hope
there
so.
you go.
Yeah.
I don't know that I will, but I'll try.
I hope so. Mr. Tony.
So for my worst, to stay on the brand of Christmas, I have an abysmal piece of shit Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's called Operation Christmas Drop.
Oh no.
This is.
Why do I know what this is?
Yeah, why do I know what this is?
It's a Netflix original.
Yeah.
That belongs on the Hallmark Channel, obviously.
Right.
Typical Hallmark Christmas movie, like this government base in an island. It's escaping me right now. It's like Hawaii. It might actually be Hawaii. They do this humanitarian run where they bring Christmas presents and resources and all this stuff to certain islands that don't necessarily get the resources in a timely fashion. And like a girl from the government is sent to see how this base is running and if the base is warranted to stay open.
Huh.
Yeah. I've basically summed up the movie for you.
Oh, okay.
And in typical
Thank
Hallmark
you.
fashion, the girl comes in, she's like, like a hardened like government worker who's like very like to the bone, and then you got the happy-go-lucky soldier guy who is for all of this, and he like warms her heart and they fall in love and all that happy horse shit. It's fucking terrible. It is like bargain bin, like 99-cent Hallmark trash.
Straight to VHS.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Like the girls will definitely like it. The male lead is dreamy. He's blonde, blue eyes, like baby face. Yeah. It's a little heartwarming. Like it does.
He was a member of the Hitler Youth.
Yeah, that was very Aryan.
He
sounds very Aryan.
You describe someone who's very Aryan.
All right, guys. Like
you don't need to show. I get it.
Aryan. He was the Ubermensch.
Yeah,
you said he has blonde hair and blue eyes. Tony.
For fuck's sakes, guys! Why you got to do this to me?
Why you gotta take it there? We gotta take it. You gotta take it.
Make it you uncomfortable. You gotta take it. You gotta take it. This is what the fucker looks like. He's the one on the left, obviously.
Yeah. Are we wrong?
I thought he was on the right. I can't tell.
Okay, so he's a little Aryan. Like whatever, guys. Like this is not the point. Your girlfriend will like it. Your wife will like it. Any wife in this who is listening to this podcast will adore this movie. My wife likes it, but she knows that the dialogue is absolutely despicable.
How does it compare to that Heather Graham, Brandy?
It's on the same. It's on the same level.
Joy.
That movie is another abysmal piece
that movie's
of shit.
Like a hair over an hour, and it felt like 4.
It just felt so long, and like like I don't like doing my girl Heather Graham dirty. Like she is absolutely fabulous, but the movie just sucks so much.
Oh God.
I was debating putting that as as my worst too, because I did see that recently too. Yeah.
No thanks.
No thanks.
No bueno.
Chuck it in the bin.
Chuck it in the bin. There's other Christmas movies that you can watch.
Yeah.
Other cheesy Christmas movies that you can watch that are 10 times better than that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So it's my turn again, right? Because you already did your 3.
What about this guy? He hasn't done his 3rd.
He did. He struck 2 and then he did 3. If you want another one, have another one.
I can. Yeah.
What?
I
did he? Did he?
Because he had Star Wars and Empire together. So yeah, if you had last time you did it, you told me you were done. So if you have another, please.
Yeah, sure.
Hit me.
So
Thrill me.
I'll try to. So I've recently gotten into
No longer thrilled.
Wow. I recently got into I've been getting into audiobooks a little bit more. So I've been like listening and reading to things. So I went through Dune, and that partially inspired me to rewatch Dune again. After listening to it.
Denis or David Lynch?
Denis. I'm waiting. I will watch the David Lynch version before Dune Part 2 because I'm psychotic.
I still need to see it.
It's going to happen.
Fuck, I can't wait for both your reactions.
I'm very excited. But for some reason, I don't really know. I think it was also because like right after that, I think I listened to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I was just on like a weird spacey mood. And then Napoleon was coming out, so I decided to rewatch The Martian.
Ridley Scott?
Yeah, Ridley Scott. You see where the theme was and why my head went there.
Matt Damon.
And Matt Damon in space. I fucking love that movie. It's solid. Like,
why do we keep spending so much money to retrieve Matt Damon?
I don't know. I don't know. We mounted an entire military expedition in Saving Private Ryan. We mounted a space program in this. We mounted another space program in Interstellar. I don't know.
Ridley actually hits with this one.
He really does,
and he
really does.
He makes it,
and it works. Like it's just.
I think it's because it's the writing.
It's definitely the writing.
It's the writing,
and Matt Damon, obviously.
The writing's great. Matt Damon is aces, and the rest of the supporting cast is fucking great. Like it's an everybody who's everybody's in this movie.
Yeah,
and like they're all just killing it. Like Jeff Daniels is great. Jessica Chastain is great.
Sebastian Stan.
I can't remember.
Michael Pena.
Glover.
Donald Glover's
in it. Yeah.
Donald Glover. Sean Bean.
Doesn't die.
He doesn't die for once.
Him.
He does get fired though, which is pretty close. I think I could chuck that in that he dies in this movie. He loses his career in this movie. No, but it's great. Like I think most of it is grounded. It feels just not the too distant future. Everything feels like properly designed. I know they worked with NASA a lot to like make all that happen and make it look as good as it does. But like Matt Damon carries the whole heart of that movie. And it works.
For sure.
I'm just remembering him dancing around when he's planting potatoes, and when he's like, they're trying to get him off, and he's kind of like hanging out of it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm envisioning. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember liking it a lot.
It's a lot of fun, and like there's just really good moments in there, and like there's fun throwaway jokes about like, you know, like because he farms potatoes, and the botanists back on Earth are mad at him, but they can't deny how successful he's been, and like there's the weird hilarious double joke about him being a space pirate. There's just good stuff. Like it is the writing. I think a lot of it comes down to the writing, and then Ridley Scott he is a good director. So it like the shots look good, the compositions are great.
Yeah,
like
beautiful.
it all.
I think
works.
it's because it's not a like heavy drama.
No.
Like it's not quite a comedy, even though the Golden Globes would tell you it is.
Yeah, I was really about to say I distinctly remember.
Jokes, so now it's a comedy.
Yeah.
Like it's not quite a comedy, but it's lighter than fucking I don't anything that he does.
But even still, like the stakes are high, and they feel high, and like when when the entire thing blows out, he loses his crop of potatoes, and like, you know, you see his like weight loss after that, and like his rations, and like when he crushes a Vicodin up into a potato because he's just like fuck it at this point. I felt for it, and it's just like, damn man, like that sucks. Like
it has a good soundtrack too. I remember that.
So it's one of those soundtracks that it's not one of those ones that it's like, oh, it stands out. Like I really want to re-listen to the Martian soundtrack, but like it fits so lovely into it. Who did the soundtrack? Was it Desplat?
I might have been Desplat. I remember Starman was a key part of that movie too.
Yes. Yeah. It definitely was.
Isn't there a line in it where he's like, I'm going to science the shit out of this?
Yes.
The shit out of this.
Yes, that is a line.
Excellent line.
That is a line.
No notes.
Most excellent line. But yeah, overall, I really, really enjoyed watching it again. It had been a while since I had seen it. And if you haven't seen it in a while, you should.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sorry, the list of credits on this movie includes 78,000 people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
I feel like
composer was Harry Gregson Williams.
Oh, okay. Well, shout out to Desplat just because Desplat's awesome.
Desplat, but it's also still a very good score. So good job, Harry Gregson Williams.
Just a small aside. Did you ever buy Interstellar on Blu-ray?
I think so.
So it came with a 70 millimeter IMAX frame.
Yes.
Like a specific frame of the movie. Yep. What was your frame?
I don't remember right now. I have it, but I don't remember what one it was.
Mine was Matt Damon's face.
I think mine was like space or something like that. But
I'm not even kidding. Mine is Matt Damon's face.
I think actually no. Now I'm remembering mine is like it's a frame of the ship in space, like rotating.
Mine is Matt Damon's face.
Is still Matt Damon's face. It's excellent.
And because I couldn't tell anyone for a while because I was like, this is a huge spoiler if you haven't seen the movie. But yeah, Matt Damon's face. So thanks, Chris, for that.
he did you. He did you well.
He did.
All right, give me your worst.
So this one's going to be thematic. This one's another thematic gem. Tim Burton's opus, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, oof. Johnny Depp.
Oof.
Tony, say that again for me.
Oof.
Say it one more time.
Oof.
Just over and over again oof. For 2 fucking hours. Oof. Holy Jesus, guys.
It's fucking weird.
It's fucking bad is what it is.
Yeah.
Apparently it's more in tune with the book versus the Gene Wilder, but
I
like
can see that.
It's bad. Like
Mr. Little Jeans is in it, is he?
No, it's not Mr. Little Jeans.
It's not Mr. Little Jeans?
It's not Mr. Little Jeans. But it's just so bad.
I've not seen that movie since it came out.
It's so bad. Like the kids are amazing.
Yeah.
The kids they picked to play Charlie, Freddie Highmore, obviously. Aces before he became fucking Norman Bates.
Yeah.
The kids they picked for Veruca, Augustus, Violet, and Mike, all great. Like if you know anything, if you ever read the book, if you watched Willy Wonka,
sure.
The image you have of these characters, perfect. They picked the perfect people. But it's just like what they add to it that just doesn't work for me. Other than making Grandpa Joe not a piece of shit.
Isn't there like
they do a good job of making Grandpa Joe like, maybe he's not awful versus the first one where you're like, fuck this guy.
Right. Yeah,
Isn't
true.
there like an entire like subplot of like of Willie like with his dad and stuff?
Christopher Lee's his dad.
Yeah. I just remember
it's weird.
It's so fucking weird.
It's weird. It has great pacing because it's like a 2-hour movie and it's like 40 minutes before you even see Willy Wonka, before they even get to the factory.
Yeah.
Huh.
Which is great. And I loved how it just moves. Because it was like 2 a.m. and I was like, I should probably turn this off. It's like, oh, it's almost over. Okay. But like the look is pretty decent. And then once they get to the factory and fucking Willy Wonka shows up, you're like, what the fuck is happening?
It just goes full Tim Burton.
It doesn't even go full Tim. It's just weird for the sake of being weird. Like he's doing like this man-child Michael Jackson fucking thing.
Yeah.
And it's not working.
Yeah.
And like they keep doing a recurring joke where he keeps walking into like windows and stuff. And I'm like, okay, this isn't working. And like he doesn't have. Like, I know I'm putting Gene Wilder on the pedestal, but Gene Wilder had like this mix of like, he's a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
But like, you should not be trusting this psychopath. But he was still like endearing. This one, you're just like, you're not quite psychopath. You're just fucking weird.
Yeah. And like, you're saying
just,
it's like
are you just Tim Burton?
Like, he
has like the funny voice too, doesn't he?
That's why I said Michael Jackson, because it's a Michael Jackson esque voice of like this. I don't even want to try to do it, but it's like very like low and kind of childlike.
Hello, children.
Like kind of simple, like maybe even lower than that, but something like that.
He does the line. He's just like, "That's Boogie."
Yeah, like a cross between what you guys just did. Boogie. That's Johnny Depp. That's whole movie, and it's weird.
Yeah, no, and like you're saying, like it's more accurate to the book, but like, is it though? Because that is not like I always felt like Wonka was more the Gene Wilder. He's a psychopath with some sort of childlike wonder to him of imagination and stuff. But the way that Johnny Depp plays him is like, is that book accurate? Because that's not the book accuracy that I had. And I read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory religiously as a kid.
So did I. Like I remember reading it, but it was close. Like I know thematically it's a closer...
Yeah, okay.
Other than the additions that they put in for no reason, but it's a closer look.
Yeah.
Like they don't have like the whole subplot about stealing recipes and stuff. And they don't have like Charlie and Grandpa Joe drinking the fucking fizzy drink.
Yeah.
Because like Charlie's just like, he's just in the background of this movie the whole time.
Yeah.
And at the end, he's like, you get the factory. He's like,
what?
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is also strange because that's not like the book at all. But anyway, okay, sure.
Strange.
Yeah.
And just, the dad stuff does not work. And just like the look of the factory is like, some of it's real, but then a lot of it is CG, and it's not quite coming together as well as it should, because I know he trained the squirrels, or like they had trained squirrels to do the moves, but like putting them all together, it looks fake as shit.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look right. And making the one guy be all the Oompa Loompas does not look right.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's only like 5 guys in the 70s one, but it looks a lot better than this guy doing mocap
for
all of them,
or for
100 million of them. And they make it much more racist and much more slave like what he's doing with these Oompa Loompas. as opposed to the 1970s one.
Yeah.
Is there any music in it? Like, is there any song? There's songs.
The Oompa Loompas sing.
Like the Oompa Loompa song?
Yeah, they sing the Oompa Loompa songs. But like, it's not a full blown musical, or like closer to a musical than the 70s one.
The 70s one is like a half musical kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one just has like the musical interludes.
Okay.
But yeah, it does, like, so much of it works, but then so much more of it doesn't. And you're just sitting there and you're like, this is just fucking weird for the sake of being weird.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but like, it's telling that Wonka took from the 1970s one and not the 2005 one.
Yeah.
It's very telling.
Yeah. That's fair. I haven't seen it in forever, so that makes sense, and I don't plan on ever revisiting it. So.
Just don't bother.
Yeah, okay. I think
if you want to fill up your Tim Burton, Johnny Depp numbers, by all means. But
thanks.
But you know what? I might not be worth it.
I don't think it's worth it.
But I just to end it off, because I know Tony wants to talk about his spooky Shutter minute. If he could have bottled the energy and the zip of this movie, I think so many of Tim Burton's like follow-up films, like fucking Dumbo or fucking Alice in Wonderland, or what's that, Miss Pettigrew's fucking Peculiar
Children or something.
Peculiar Children.
That one. If he could have had even half the energy of this movie and the zip of this movie, I feel like every movie since then would have been like 10 times better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair call out.
So, Tony,
want to get spooks?
Let's get spooks.
Spooky.
Evil lurking deep inside, its darkness knows no limit. So listen closely if you dare. This is the Shudder Minute.
So, Dave, you were talking about right?
That was.
So, for the Shudder Minute, I have the new Shudder original called The Sacrifice Game.
Okay.
And we wanted this at Fantasia, and we did not get it.
Yeah.
Is there a reason?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
Quick overview. Some people are left behind over Christmas break at a boarding school.
Sure.
They are just staying at the boarding school over the holidays, and a bunch of serial killers just show up on their front door, and they have to survive the night.
Oh.
Remember the Holdovers, Dave?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. If you go on Letterboxd, people are calling The Sacrifice Game the Holdovers, but with serial killers.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah. But it's the Holdovers by way of a slasher movie.
Oh, okay.
Fair.
Which, I think I've seen The Sacrifice Game, and I think I can figure out what happens during the Holdovers to figure this all out. The movie itself, I wanted a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it was decent. And I will say the standout to me is I'm gonna butcher his name, but I'm gonna try my best. Mina Masood from Aladdin.
Oh,
He
okay.
is absolutely like diabolical
Nice.
Like
he's a great fucking actor.
He is fucking menacing in this movie, man. Like he does some vicious ass fucking shit.
Okay.
Like
I think he's a Scarborough boy.
yeah, he is next level.
He's not Toronto, but I'm almost certain it's Scarborough.
And there's this scene at the beginning where this random family is having like a Christmas get together. Their friends leave, and then the four of them go up, literally are watching this happen. And then they go up to the house. They knock on the door. Buddy comes out and says, "Oh, like who are you?" And the guy just stabs him in the throat. Walks into the house. The camera is literally just staying there, and they go into the house. They close the door. The camera then moves to the front window of the house, and you see the guy who's like fucking. He's bleeding from the neck. He's all over the place. You see the wife who's just standing there with the cookies. They bash the cookies down and they grab the woman, and then the camera just moves and it does like a little like round the house thing. Oh. The camera's still the shot hasn't cut yet, and it's like moving around the house. It goes to the backyard, and you see through the back window what happens to the woman. The woman gets thrown onto the table. They rip open her dress, and then Buddy just comes out of nowhere and just stabs her directly into the fucking chest. And then you see a woman take like one of the women with the killers. She takes like a paintbrush. Camera still hasn't cut yet. She like does this like little like graffiti thing on the window, and then it's like the sacrifice game. I was like, holy shit, this is intense.
Playing for keeps
right off the bat.
Good lord.
And then the movie goes downhill from there.
That's too bad.
Such promise.
Like that opening scene was so good. It must have, like, I really want to know how they filmed it and stuff, whether it's like just a guy with a Moby with a steady cam, or, you know, they're on like a crane or something. I could see them doing the crane.
They'd be on the dolly.
No, definitely not a dolly. To set up that amount of track on what they are, it's either on a crane or it's steady cam, and it's the guy just walking and they're like patting, or they're passing off the camera.
Probably passing. That may be passing for sure.
Yeah. But it's a hell of an opening scene, hell of an opening shot. I just wish the rest of the movie was better, because like it comes into like these killers. They're looking for a demon. They're basically trying to bring a demon back into the world.
Right.
Basically.
I caught that when you said sacrifice.
Right. So, yeah, it gets into that subplot, and then it kind of comes full circle when, you know, the demon isn't what they thought the demon would be.
Right.
Right. And yeah, it just kind of peters out from there.
So like the babysitter,
kind of
Rosemary's Baby.
Don't get me wrong, it's definitely a better entry than It's a Wonderful Knife. I fucking hated It's a Wonderful Knife. But this one's kind of vicious, and it does go to some dark places, and there's some good scenes in it. It's just the whole movie, I just wanted more. But I will say that actor that we were just talking about,
Mina Masood.
He is next level, and he is definitely the MVP.
Awesome.
For sure. I want to see
Aladdin.
Yeah, he's Aladdin.
Yeah.
I want to see him in more character stuff, like stuff that he can really like sink into the character.
Nice.
And
he was in that Rob Ford movie.
Yeah, he was the best part of that fucking movie too.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah,
that movie was a piece of shit. That movie was a travesty. Was what that was.
Run this town.
Throw that. Chuck that in the bin.
Chuck it in the bin.
That is the Shudder Minute. I'm very excited. I've seen, I would say, about 85% of the Shudder originals. I just got a couple more. I'm very excited to give you guys the year in review for sure.
Yeah,
I'm excited that you'll have watched all of them.
Almost all of them. There's a couple that I don't want to watch, but there's at least like 2 or 3.
Tony, you're a completionist.
I know I'm a completionist.
Eating him alive. I can see it in his face right now. He's like, I don't want to watch him.
If I do all of the originals, I think I have 5 left.
Do it.
All right.
Give the people what they want, Tony. Do it.
If you do it, I'll give you a cookie.
Oh, a cookie. But yeah.
Do it.
Are we ready for the main event?
Do it. Yeah. Let's talk about it. piggyback off of Dave's glowing review of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory from the 2000s, let's talk about Wonka.
The new Paul King joint.
The new Paul King joint, starring our little angel Timothée Chalamet.
I love Timothée. Timmy. I'm just gonna call him Timmy.
Timmy.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call him Timmy.
Yeah, you met him. You can call him Timmy.
I did.
Our man Timmy.
Timmy.
I did. He let me call him Dave, and he called me Timmy.
That's cute. That's the cutest little story. What a meet cute you guys had.
Being legit though, like I saw Call Me by Your Name and Lady Bird the same day, and I was like, "Yo, I saw Call Me by Your Name this morning. You're amazing. Like, good luck. Like, I hope you go all the way.
Yeah.
Good luck." And he stopped to shake my hand and say thank you for that.
Oh,
so he seemed genuinely touched that I was there to speak to him as an actor, as opposed to everybody's like, this kid's fucking hot.
Yeah, as a hottie. Yeah, you were talking about his actual acting. And the nasty things he did to a peach.
Yes. Yeah. Did you see that viral video with the kids saying that he was a peach or something?
Oh, God.
These kids are interviewing him and Keegan-Michael Key for Wonka, and they say, like, you're just cute as a peach, or you're just something to do with peaches. Yeah. And Keegan's just like...
He's never going to live that one down.
Never.
I watched that on an airplane. That was the best choice I've ever made.
I took Tony to see it when Andre Asselman was there.
Yeah, the writer of the novel.
Nice.
Writer of the novel.
Yeah.
He signed my book. He said, "Later, Dave."
Sick.
I need to show it to Melissa. I think Melissa would really appreciate it.
Oh, she hasn't seen Call Me by Your Name?
She has not seen it.
You really should. Yeah. Circling back to Wonka.
I'm just thinking
so we don't just talk about Timothée movies.
What is it? Was it Memories of Gideon? Is that what it's called? Where he's just... Is that the track that plays where he's just watching the fireplace at the end?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Fucking Christ.
He's doing the Call Me by Your Name thing.
Yeah.
He's doing Call Me by Your Name.
Oh my God.
But Wonka.
A musical,
full-blown musical.
Let's talk about that.
Was not expecting that.
Let's talk about how you don't even get eased into it. It is just, oh, by the way, did you not know this was a musical because we didn't tell you about it in the trailer at all?
Like, apparently they just like duping people now. They're just like, you can't get the money if you say it's a musical. You gotta trick people into going to see it.
Okay.
Which I don't like that technique.
No.
But yeah, full-blown musical. It's like, what, within the first 30 seconds of the movie starting?
The score starts coming up. It's like you're approaching the ship, and then Timothée's there singing in your face. And you're like, well, I guess it's a musical. Unexpected.
So it's kind of like a prequel-ish.
Yeah.
That he doesn't have a dad, and he has a mom who died. Cool.
Yes. And they lived on a riverboat.
Yes. And he just wants to make chocolate. And obviously the chocolatiers don't want that. And he gets sent to like...
He arrives in town. Yeah. And there's 3 established chocolatiers. He's trying to make first of all, I need to talk about whatever the capitalist nightmare fuel that this movie is. Just fucking right from the beginning. It's pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You can do it. All you have to do is work hard and contribute to society. I'm like, what is this nightmarish fuel?
But you can't daydream, or they fine you for that.
Oh yeah, I like them fining you for daydreaming.
Yeah. But anyway, there's 3 established chocolatiers who obviously don't want any competition because this entire thing is a post-capitalistic nightmare.
What city are they in?
Question mark.
Are they in France? Are they in England?
A city. City near you.
A European city. Circa, I don't know, the 19
question marks. No idea. And so he tries to set up shop. Obviously doesn't. Gives all of his money away because he's the socialist chocolate maker in this capitalistic town. Trying to help everybody out, and then gets duped into working in a laundry.
By ways of like Les Miserables.
By ways of illiteracy.
Literally, you got that thing of gin, that's money.
That was so Les Mis.
I literally just thought of Les Mis. You warmed yourself up.
Singing a song.
You're going up the stairs, it costs you money, or you come back down the stairs, it costs you money.
Did you use the bar of soap?
Yeah.
Right?
Did you the mini bar?
The mini bar.
And like,
but Olivia Colman, aces.
Oh yeah,
Aces.
but also so Wonka's illiterate. Let's all remember that.
It costs him. You owe $10,000. Just walk away, man.
Just leave town. Why are you so like? Why do you? Anyway, he had a dream. He dreamed a dream of time gone by.
Literally Les Mis, guys.
The whole movie is Les Mis.
It
There's
is
a revolution. It's a chocolate revolution.
It's chocolate.
Oh shit! It's Les Mis.
It is Les Mis.
It is fucking.
There's a police officer trying to track him down, and oh my god,
it is
Les Mis.
Well,
it's Les Mis.
All right, we can wrap up the podcast now. We've cracked the nut.
He doesn't steal any bread.
No,
this
he
is
just
very Les Mis.
Yeah,
He's literally just selling chocolate.
Look down, wash all these fucking clothes.
Oh god.
They inexplicably milk a giraffe.
Yeah. Did you send me that?
I sent you that today. It was a lady going like, like everyone wants to know, when can you go pee during the movie? And like the moment they enter the zoo, you can safely go to the bathroom because all you were going to miss is them milking a giraffe.
I wish you guys would have told me that because 20 minutes in, I had to piss like a racehorse and I could not go till the end.
Oh, you could have. The moment
I wish I could have
missed
got
nothing.
You would have missed nothing. Yeah, that was weird. That was a Tim Burton weird for being weird.
That was just super fucking weird.
Them just riding the balloons back to town.
Yeah,
that was cute.
It was cute.
And it was a lot less weird than milking a giraffe, Tony.
Yeah, the giraffe was fucking weird.
Yeah, it was super weird.
I don't know. Like we're talking about this movie. I don't really know how I fully feel about it. To get to the end of this, obviously he becomes Wonka and he opens a factory and yada yada yada. He has highs and lows, trials and tribulations.
There's that weird subplot with is it Ween? No, it's Noodle. I thought it was Wiener. Noodle.
Oh, it's Noodle. Yeah,
Noodle. Like she's cute and cuddly, and I love her as an actress.
Call her Wiener.
I couldn't remember.
He's literally saying she's cute and cuddly, and she just literally referred to her as a wiener.
He writes an entire song.
I couldn't remember
noodles.
if it was Wiener or Noodle. Okay,
fucking Noodle, man.
Either way, why was did she have any bearing on the plot? Could movie have just worked without her?
Yeah, you could have cut that entire thing out. The entire thing with figuring out who Noodle is and who her parents were and everything.
It doesn't matter.
What the fuck does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
None of it matters. Even by the end, none of it matters.
None of it matters.
You could cut that entire. They just needed a child in there.
Yeah, I guess
she's the childlike wonder for.
I guess kind of like the audience the audience member, or also tying it to the previous films, right? Because it seemed very indebted, and now that I rewatched Charlie and then I rewatched Willy Wonka, it seems very indebted to those movies where specific things are happening or he's referring to specific things and you're like, oh, he's gonna do this later.
Yeah, and the theme plays weirdly throughout until the very end, and then it's full blown. I'm singing the whole fucking song right to you at this point. Remember? But it's trickled in there throughout, and
I thought he did really well. I thought he sang a lot better.
No, I have no complaints about his singing.
I thought his singing was very good. I thought he was very good. It's weird seeing him in a happy movie.
Sure.
Because he doesn't really do happy movies. Yeah. I would say his most comedic performance outside of this is Don't Look Up, and that is not a happy movie.
Yeah, that's depressing.
But this is his first happy, and I would say this is also his first headliner. He's the main event.
Yeah.
All the other ones are ensemble pieces, and he's the main event here. You're coming for Timmy.
Yeah.
And he does really well, and he carries the movie. It's a little too long.
Yep.
It's a little too long. What we were just saying about Wiener, you didn't really need her, or the giraffe thing. That was weird. And when they let the giraffe loose and fucking Mr. Bean's upset. We need more Mr. Bean in our lives.
Yeah, more Rowan Atkinson.
Every movie could be improved with Rowan Atkinson showing up. And then
such a random ass.
And there's just
so
like these
ridiculous.
random elaborate moments, and just like, what is with the CGI in this movie? Okay, can we just talk about the CGI?
The chocolate
Oof.
fountain and like the whole like chocolate fucking like river thing. It like just awful.
The dog doing the fucking
Yeah. Even the machine, when the machine was like, I was like, that looks like dog shit.
Everything looks like
It
I don't want
was-
to I don't want to blame the effects artists, because clearly it's Warner Brothers. They probably overworked them, but it did not like
No.
the production design and the costuming is great, and I love the color. The
Colors are very
the
vibrant.
colors are very
Yeah.
vibrant, and the look is great. But every single time there's CGI in this movie, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, the set design and the production design reminded me of Poor Things, like that kind of vibrant thing. But once they come away from the practical and they make it CGI and more like visual effects, it just looks bad.
Yeah. Agreed.
It looks very
Right?
bad. It kept
Especially
taking me
like,
out.
especially with the giraffe and how he was interacting with the giraffe and like the giraffe in the car and like when it peeks its head up. Like it just looks terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we also talk about how cartoony it gets with the fucking boat?
Yeah, I didn't understand, because I was watching it and I'm
Where
like,
they tried to ship him off to the North Pole or wherever the fuck, and there's like the cartoon levels of dynamite on the ship.
yeah. There's just like, I was like, oh, Quentin might really enjoy this, and then it goes to just like weird dark places that are very Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah, it was very Looney Tunes.
what is this tone
Yeah.
that you're going for? This is strange.
But the MVP of the movie,
Absolutely.
fucking
Absolutely.
Hugh Grant.
It's Hugh Grant.
Like
I can't believe how good
why
he
was.
was.
Why was he not in more of it?
Every single scene that he was in was his fucking scene. He fucking just
He looked.
Oh
We
my
were
God.
hating on the CGI, but he looked
He
pretty
looked-
decent
he
for
looked
most of
pretty
the
good.
part, and
He
him
looked-
interacting with
Yeah.
you looks pretty
It
decent.
looks very
pretty good.
Sorry, you know what? It looks great compared to the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But yes,
The
Hugh
budget.
Grant.
The budget went to animating fucking Hugh
Yeah.
Grant.
Hugh
for
Grant
this.
was great, and I love how deadpan he is.
I
And
think
I
it
love it.
works. And like I know
It
like
works
he
very
hated,
well.
he hated wanting to be this or whatever and being in this movie or whatever. He didn't like it or whatever. But I think that just ended up working more in his favor because he's so
I think he might just be.
curmudgeonly.
I
and,
think he
like,
might just be playing it as like a bit,
Yeah.
because like he's just as curmudgeonly in
Yeah,
the
true.
movie.
Yeah.
Right. And just I wasn't expecting much from him, because I only remember him in the trailer when he captures him in the
In the
bottle,
bottle, yeah.
and then like he kept popping up every so often, and I was like, I love every time he
love
shows up. It might be just because I love Hugh Grant, like
Of course.
unabashedly
No, but,
love
like,
Hugh
yeah,
Grant.
He just is
But he's
so
so
good.
The part. The you guys were talking about the ship. The part on
Yeah.
the ship, man.
yeah,
like,
he's
it's
great in
just
that
like-
part.
He's so
The
good.
guy, he, like, travels first class and he brings out this fucking recliner seat, and I'm just sitting there just like
I was
just
laughing.
cackling. Like
just-
it's so stupid, but it's so good.
The fucking loud ostrich
Y-
guy.
Yeah.
That was me in the theater laughing to fucking Hugh
Yeah.
Grant in this
You
scene.
were the live studio ostrich.
Literally.
Yeah, he's very, very good.
So good.
So good. Like Timmy is great, but Hugh Grant is very, very, very good.
No, he steals it for me. Like he is the MVP of this, and I just wanted more Oompa Loompa for sure.
You know who wasn't good? Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah.
What the fuck was he doing?
Yeah.
What was that?
Just progressively putting on bigger and bigger fat suits.
Yeah, like what was that? Like I know people are talking online about how fat phobic the movie is, and I was like, well, yeah, you have to show that you shouldn't be eating that much chocolate. Like you can't physically show diabetes,
Yeah.
especially in whatever god awful time period this
isn't a
movie is
Wilford
supposed to
Brimley
be.
PSA. Like,
Well, he's like, I've gained 150 pounds in the past 2 weeks.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, kids, you shouldn't be eating that much chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay. Like cause and effect. But yeah, it was just, he wasn't funny. And
No,
he
we've
was
grown. We've
he-
grown past the fat suits.
It's not
and,
even the
like,
fat suit. Like even just, he just doesn't do anything.
No,
Yeah.
he's just not. What were you gonna say, James?
No, go.
I was just gonna say he doesn't really add anything to it, and like he's just playing his typical self. Like,
Exactly.
he's not.
It just felt
He's
like
not
I was
anything
watching
different.
Keegan-Michael Key.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like he wasn't doing a bit or anything. He was just
No.
being himself.
Yeah. Weakest part was Keegan-Michael Key
Yeah.
by far.
But again, what fucking time period is this?
Don't know. Question mark time period.
Question mark.
I do. Okay, two other things I wanted to mention. One, actually, I guess they're both kind of related to the story. Considering the story was never written by Roald Dahl, I applaud them for sort of capturing the imagination and sort of quite ridiculousness of a Roald Dahl story in the way that it was like written and framed. Like all these ridiculous moments we're talking about would 100% happen in a Roald Dahl book, and they do happen. Like if you read like the BFG or the Giraffe, the Pelly and Me, or the Witches, or like it's the most ridiculous shit in the world. So of course he's milking a fucking giraffe. Like I applaud them for being able to sort of capture that. Because like while I was watching, I'm like, yeah, this, I know he never wrote this, but like he might as well.
No, it tracks. It's just kind of
it's whack.
Well, when he's making the chocolate, and it's like he needs like liquid sunlight and like the storm in a bottle or whatever the fuck it's called.
See that I was on board for. When he's milking the giraffe, I was like,
it's the step too far. It's the bit that you would cut out of the of adapting the book.
Yeah. You don't need this.
Further to that, though, I do appreciate what they did with the Oompa Loompas at the end and made it very, very unslave-like.
Oh, yes.
Like, that's a good rewrite. Thank you.
Yeah, that was
making it very explicit.
That was a great rewrite.
That this is an agreement that they came to, not something else.
Yeah, that was a great rewrite.
Yeah.
Well, even in Willy Wonka, he brings them because, like, he's there's something that happened, like, they're getting eaten or getting murdered daily type thing. So he brought them all there to kind of like give them sanctuary. So he was doing a good thing, as opposed to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, where it's very clearly that they're slaves.
Yeah. Yeah. What did and I don't know that this is, well, I mean, maybe it's partially spoilery, but what did you think of the Golden Note tie-in? If that even like clicked for you when he unwraps the chocolate his mom gave him. And
yeah.
That
was cute.
It's like very cute. Like, oh, you unwrap for a golden ticket, and it's very like,
yeah. Well, again, that's
what
another
what was said on it broke me a little.
Yeah.
But again, that's another callback where they're trying to tie it all together.
But I like it though. I think that that's great, and it kind of adds a different sort of light to why there's golden tickets at all. It's kind of nice.
But it's wholesome, and it brings back the whole like message on like why he's doing what he's doing, right?
But he's not a psycho.
No,
but he's not
not yet.
He's just,
he hasn't become the recluse chocolatier.
He's just strange.
Yeah.
Like there's just so much, like it's a lot better than I would ever have wanted to give it credit for. When I was sitting there, I was like, this is much better than I thought.
It has no business being that great. I wasn't expecting anything.
But it's also not Paddington.
No.
Okay.
Because I don't think anybody could have expected
many things
it to
are
be
Paddington.
But like, it's wholesome and sweet and cuddly like Paddington, but it's not Paddington.
It's not Paddington. It has its flaws. It's definitely, like, I've been sitting here I've actually been sitting since I watched it, trying to figure out how I feel about it. I like what you said. Like, it's better than it probably had any right to be.
Yeah.
It's not amazing.
No, it's not amazing.
It's not Paddington or Paddington 2 levels of perfection, but
it's wholesome. It's harmless.
It's good.
Yeah, it's well done. It's just like there's just certain beats where you're just like, okay, why'd you go this way?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, maybe it's the roll down. I never know how to name his fucking stupid name. Did you know he was the screenwriter for 2 James Bond movies?
Really?
Yeah, he wrote On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the script for it. And there was another one he did too.
Huh.
Anyways, that said,
I like that one.
I've never seen it. That said, all of that said, like, it just, like, yeah, it dips into his weirdness, but then like the tone just isn't there.
Yeah.
Like, for all of what I'm saying about or talking shit about Tim Burton's,
yeah,
it's very clear what the tone is. It's very clear what the tone is in Willy Wonka. In this movie, it's not clear where the tone is.
Yeah, that's fair.
It just kind of like peaks and valleys, and like there's just like weirdness to it. And the CGI is very distracting.
Yeah.
like it's not the Flash levels of distracting, but it's still pretty fucking distracting. And I don't really think there's any catchy songs.
Yeah, I was just about to say the music wasn't really that memorable.
Like it's good, it's just it's not catchy.
No, like I'm not like queuing it up on my fucking Spotify.
And like it might be like I wasn't a big fan of the Greatest Showman soundtrack at the first, and then like it kind of grew on me, but I feel like that was a lot more exciting and a lot more like there was still like some catchiness to this.
Yeah.
Like Days Later, the only thing I can think of is him doing the Gene Wilder song.
Yeah. But
pure
pure
imagination.
Yeah, but even that is I mean, the song already exists.
It doesn't even hold a candle to.
I think it's still really.
He
does well.
He does well, but it just makes me want the Gene Wilder.
Yeah, but we also are putting Gene Wilder on the pedestal.
Well, he deserves to be on the pedestal because, like, I don't know about you guys, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is a movie that I hold very near and dear to my heart, and it means a lot to me.
Okay, maybe it doesn't mean that much to me, but I do like it a lot.
But it means a lot to me. So like watching this movie, like I could see watching it with my kids down the line. But it just made me want to watch Willy Wonka. Like it just made me want to watch the 70s one.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's a good thing to do.
Good.
It is
a good thing that it's making you want to do that.
But I never want to if it came to watching Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and then Wonka, like I don't see myself ever revisiting this unless it's like for a child.
Yeah.
I'd revisit it quicker than fucking Tim Burton.
Obviously, well, fuck the Tim Burton one. But like, I'm watching. If I'm
like, the only way that movie could have gotten worse is if fucking he had scissors for hands.
Yeah.
It's probably in the
worse or better.
But you know what I mean? Like, I really like us talking about it. Like, I really just want to go and crack open my Willy Wonka Blu-ray and watch that.
Yeah.
I got it on 4K.
And I think, you know what, like, and I think Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory has more memorable songs than Wonka does. And Wonka only relies, like, the only one that I can remember still is Pure Imagination. I can't really remember the rest of them.
But we're comparing to a movie that's 50 years old, and by the time we saw it, it was already like a very cult classic.
True.
Type thing. Like, I think it's even surpassed the idea of being a cult classic. Now it's just a classic.
Yeah. Maybe at some point we'll revisit Wonka and
like I'd rewatch it. I don't know if I would watch it with Quinny right away, but I'd rewatch it, and I do think I've already said it more than once. Like, it's a lot better than it had any right to be. And Timmy is great, and Hugh Grant is great. It's just like there's
just pieces of it that
you're like, what the fuck is this here for? Why is this here? Why did you do this? Why did you do this? And like, I know our tagline for the podcast is "Movie's got a movie," but like, there's certain parts where you're just like, okay, maybe you didn't need this.
Yeah, there wasn't a specific moment where it was like, well, movie's got a movie. I was just kind of like, there was just weirdness that was just thrown in there. That was like, oh, okay.
And like the guy with Olivia Colman, who's like, he's
also 2 notes. They talked up this fucking like church's chocoholic reverends that were just pushed out by a giraffe. And point 2, they talked up this like super like death-defying badass chick in front of the vault door who was taken out the same way as the fucking zoo guy.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Why set up these things and then you don't do anything with it? Like, even the way that the vault guard is, it's what a, like, and I know they call it like, wow, that's shockingly coincidental. Like, that it's the same person that the zoo guard was in love with. But I was just like, but that's all you did with it? Like, this is okay, I guess.
Yeah, you're right.
There's just things that were just kind of like, to your point of just like, okay,
cool. And yeah, it's not paced nearly as well as the other ones.
Yeah.
But I'm curious.
Overall,
yeah, I'm happy it's doing well. I'm happy people are seeking it out. I think they definitely should have advertised it as a musical.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think that that's really the way to go. Like, ambush musical is not the way to go, guys. Like, you're just gonna piss. You're just gonna piss people off ambush musicaling. But yeah, I saw it in IMAX, like legit IMAX.
How was it in legit IMAX?
Like, it looked nice and the sound was very good. Like, I know it's not an IMAX movie, but like it looked great in IMAX. And yeah, I think that's all I could say to it. It's nostalgia, and it's not weaponized nostalgia, but it's just the right amount of nostalgia. And yeah, I think to Tony's point, it did make me want to go and watch Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I want to rewatch that this week if I can.
Yeah, I just watched it yesterday.
Yeah,
because I was like, I need to make sure I watch this before the podcast. But like, watching it, I was like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I totally get it.
Yeah. Do you recommend or no?
So I'm on the fence about it because like it was not what I was expecting. I liked it more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Wouldn't revisit it immediately.
Oh, and the villains suck.
Oh, and the villains definitely suck.
Yeah,
they're all very.
Other than Olivia Colman is awesome, but like they suck.
Yeah, everyone else sucks.
I wouldn't rush out to the theater, but if you guys are looking for something to watch with your family, I would definitely say like this is definitely one of them.
Not Poor Things.
Not Poor Things. You do not want to be watching Furious Jumping with your family.
Or maybe you do.
Or maybe you do. Who knows? If that's your
Can't
thing.
judge people's families.
Yeah, exactly. Not that anything's wrong with that.
Not that there's
Nothing's wrong with
there's a couple of things that are wrong with that, but
we're not going to judge. Yeah, don't seek it out immediately. You don't need to see it in theaters. I would definitely wait for VOD.
Are you saying you're pro incest?
Wait, what?
We are not. We have gotten so off topic.
I'd like to echo most of Tony's comments of just like, yeah, that's kind of where I landed as well. Of just liked it more than I ever thought I probably would have, but I don't love it. It's not my most favorite thing that I've seen this year by any stretch. It's fine. It's good. It's enjoyable enough.
Yeah.
Family time, fun time, happy thing. Sure.
One question.
Yeah.
Why do we need this? That is what I was asking after the credits rolled. Did we really need this?
As a premise, no, probably not. But I think
because
it works.
I'm hearing some chatter that they might like, if depending on how it does, they'll do sequel franchise.
Well, they can't franchise Willy Wonka. Like,
Warner Brothers is gonna do what Warner Brothers is gonna do.
They could remake. Again,
Charlie and
the Chocolate Factory if they want to with Timothy.
Is fucking Warner Brothers going to exist by this time next year?
Why not?
Like fucking Zaslav is like driving it into the ground.
I got my fingers crossed that Warner Brothers has the balls to make Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator because nobody fucking touches that.
Yeah,
it's
seriously.
The most batshit insane book.
I was like, why has nobody made this movie?
Because it's batshit
I know.
insane.
I never read it. I read the synopsis and what happens. I was like, okay, that's why they didn't make it.
Yeah. I remember I read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and I have like a really old copy of that book. And then I think I asked my parents to get me Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator because I heard that there was a sequel. And I love Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator because it's knucking futs the entire, like it is the most batshit. It's think weird. Milking a giraffe is weird? It is fucking weird. Yeah. It is the most absurdist fucking Salvador Dali fucking nonsensical fucking abstract shit.
Look it up, Tony. It's weird.
Nuts. And I want someone to just have the balls to do it because like it would be the most fucked up thing. I want the Yorgos Lanthimos Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. That's what I want.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get Yorgos on the horn.
Thank you. Tell me.
I'd recommend it. I think as a family film, it's good.
Yeah.
I don't think I would. I will revisit it. I just don't think I'm going to rush to revisit it. And out of what's out right now, I would still like. It's like Tony was saying. It's like easy watching.
Good family fun.
Yeah. So I'm happy that it's doing well. I'm happy Timmy's going to get more like headliner roles in things that might not be deep, dark, and depressing.
That'd be nice.
Or white
nice
white savior-ish.
So yeah, go see Wonka Does Les Mis.
Yeah,
And,
go see. Now that you guys mentioned it, it does feel a lot like lame.
It's like literally as soon as he gets like fucking like kidnapped, basically.
Yeah,
I'm just like, this is basically Les Mis.
it was copying off Les Mis, but change it enough so that you can't really tell.
Yeah,
it was cribbing quite well.
I will say this makes a hell of a double bill with the Iron Claw. Let me tell you, boys.
God.
Watching those two back to back, that's a journey.
That was a choice.
That's a journey.
Anyway, I think that wraps up our main segment. Did we want to talk about anything else, Senor Dave?
What did that boy buy? It's Dave's Blue Blues.
Well, I've got a stack of blues. I actually got a bunch today, which Alyssa was not a fan of. Everybody, 3 or 4 different.
Is it like early Boxing Day deals?
No, it's all stuff I've already ordered and it finally is showing up.
Sure.
So she's like, I thought you were being picky and choosy. And I'm like, I am. She's like, well, why is it all here? Well, I'm sorry it all came at the same time, but I've had some of this stuff ordered for weeks and months.
Yeah.
But I'm really, really excited to get into the new Vinegar Syndrome of Existenz, which is my favorite David Cronenberg movie.
All right.
Like pound for pound, my favorite. I'm really excited.
I need to watch it.
You should. I think you'd really like it.
All
I think it would work. I think it looks a lot better now than it would in the 90s. So I'm interested to watch that. Tony brought over Red Dragon, which I'm very interested to rewatch.
Nice.
And I got Red Rock West from Australia, which is a Nick Cage movie from the 90s, and it fucks. It's wild.
All right.
So I'm excited for you guys to see that one.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then I'm itching for Arrow to drop off The Warriors this week.
My coffee came in and it is so fucking beautiful.
Nice.
I am so excited to watch this.
Did you put it on so you could?
I kept doing that to Melissa. I was like, have you seen the movie? And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, Warriors.
You need a whole bunch of glass bottles.
And she was like, why are you saying it like that? And I'm like, that's how he fucking says it.
That's how he says it.
I'm so excited to show it to her. Like this movie is fucking, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Walter Hill, man. Walter Hill. I really feel like we're getting into a lot of Walter Hill lately.
Seriously, eh?
Yeah. And we did Secret Santa the other day, and somebody got me a 4K of Streets of Fire.
Hell yeah.
Winning.
Hell yeah. Fucking Streets of Fire. Santa knows what's up, man.
Santa knows what's up.
Walter Hill, man.
Yeah.
Walter Hill.
Yeah.
But before we go, I've been rewatching Home Alone and Home Alone 2 a lot.
Uh-huh.
And I really want to punch Uncle Frank in the balls because he is such a dick. Everybody in this family, this guy specifically, such a dick.
Yeah.
He's just a fucking money grubbing fucking, his brother's like, hey, come on vacation with us. And he just fucking milks it for all it's worth. He's a dick to Kevin. He's a dick to everyone else. He's stealing china from the first class section. Yeah. Also, you guys the parents fly first class. Everybody else has to fly coach. Fuck you, Uncle Frank.
Yeah.
Get in the back with the rest of
in the back.
Get in the back, you son of a bitch. And Buzz is
Buzz.
He's such a he's
abhorrent.
He's abhorrent. Like,
yeah.
I can't get over how awful this fucking family is.
Yeah.
You lose them twice.
Yeah.
And you all suck.
Yeah.
Like, why is he excited to see them again? They all suck.
Yeah. They're the worst.
They're fucking worst.
The worst.
And you know what? It rubs off on Kevin because he's a fucking prototype fucking John Kramer. The shit he does to Harry and Marv.
Yeah. Good Lord. Those two can't catch a break.
They can't catch a break. Like, when they try to kidnap him again, I'm like, you know what, guys? If you saw this kid on the street, you should have run the other way.
Seriously.
Go the other way. And like, he makes friends with that pigeon lady. like he meets friends with old man Marley and stuff, and like inspires him to like go back to his family and stuff, and it's great. Then he makes friends with the pigeon lady, and the best he can do is giving her the fucking turtle dove. Give her a sandwich.
Yeah, you're sitting. She has enough birds.
You're sitting in the penthouse suite. Give her some food.
Call some room service up and bring her down a steak dinner.
Give her a fucking cookie bar.
Like, tell her to come up and take a shower.
Yeah.
Why? Like, you know what?
More birds. You know what this bird lady needs.
I don't care that you're only 10. You should know this homeless lady who has fucking pigeons all over her.
Yeah.
She probably needs food or shelter.
Now this 10-year-old kid looked at it and went, her favorite thing is pigeons. You know what I'm gonna get her? Here's another bird. That's what she wants. Bitches love birds.
Oh, and the end of the movie, the second one, he's like, you spent $967 on room service? That's what you're upset about. That's the part you're upset about.
Not the fact that you lost them twice.
Yeah. Is that where all parents' fear of like the minibar came from?
It might be.
Like,
it must be.
Because like I remember going to hotels and I think I opened the minibar fridge and my dad lost his fucking mind. Like I just cost him $2,000. He's gonna have to remortgage the house. I was like, I didn't take anything. He's like, I don't care. You open the fridge, they're gonna know.
like I don't know if this was true, but like that there were like sensors underneath them, so if you moved,
it's immediately gonna charge. That was not the case. None of that was real. That's the same thing as like, turn off the light in the car. It's illegal. You can't have the light on while I'm driving.
I still yell at Melissa all the time.
I love it. I love that. But just like 960, like really, that's the thing we're upset about.
Yeah.
You destroyed your fucking uncle's house.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna get tried for manslaughter.
We're upset about $967.
How much money did he spend on the room to start? Like, I know the penthouse was calm, but like, how much money did he spend on the fucking room?
You know what? Be more upset that you once again lost your child, you neglectful fucking.
And like, I'm just watching it. Like, I know I didn't really like the first time I was in an airplane was after 9/11.
Sure.
And I know the first time Tony was in an airplane was like, what, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
But just watching them run through the terminal both times and him hitting the girl by accident, fucking... Oh, so, just go on. It's okay.
So I do remember a time before 9/11 and flying because I did a lot of flying when I was a kid.
Bougie bitch.
Sorry. My first flight, I was 4 years old.
Fuck off.
3.
Eloise got you beat, buddy.
I was about to say Eloise was 4 months.
That's fine. She couldn't form memories, so I don't give a fuck. I win.
You say that. You say that.
But anyway, I do remember a time before that, before there was like, take your fucking liquids out of your bag, before take your shoes off, before all of the extra enhanced security and that shit. And yeah, man, it was fucking loosey-goosey. I still remember when I was fucking flying on a plane, because the planes were old enough, they still had fucking ashtrays in the seats. Like, you could just lift up the little flap and it was like an ashtray for your phone. It was like, what the fuck? And like all the planes at that point, like the cigarette light was an optional light that they just had to start putting on. And now it's like a sticker permanently and not even a light anymore. But like, yeah, I remember the change. And like, yeah, it was fucking wild. Like, you could just walk straight up to the gate. Like, that's
wild.
It was just a weird time.
Fathom that.
It's strange.
I can't fathom that.
And then 9/11 happened, and then the entire world collapsed in on itself. And now you gotta have like a butt probe just to get onto a flight at this point.
And that kid somehow lives in Love Actually, even though he literally runs.
Yeah. No, he should be dead.
He would have been killed.
Yeah,
he would have been killed. I got another point.
Yeah,
the movie both times the movie hinges on the alarm not going off, and that's why they're rushing.
Right.
Why is it just up to fucking Kevin's parents to wake everybody up?
Yeah. No one else has an alarm clock.
Uncle Frank doesn't have an alarm clock.
No.
Uncle Frank can't do anything.
No.
Fucking Buzz can't wake up.
No.
Like, Fuller didn't piss the bed.
Yeah.
Fucking say, Fuller. Hey guys, what time is it? Mommy, what time is it? Can we like, should we be leaving? The sun's out type thing. No one.
Fucking And they also like locked this kid in the fucking attic in the first one, like a fucking
Fuller,
like.
isn't Fuller his brother?
Yeah.
Like, is it Kieran? It's Kieran.
It's
right?
Kieran, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I love the sponsorships between them because he's like big on Pepsi in the first one, and suddenly the second one he's drinking Coke.
Yeah. The rivalry.
But just there's just so many things, like so many microaggressions and so many things where I'm just like, this family fucking sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Kevin, you were better off fucking doing it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's not wholesome that they fucking left you twice, bro.
Yeah. Become the John Kramer you are always going to be.
And like, he stops in the middle to like put in the, like, you didn't think to look back?
Nah.
Like, if Quinny's not holding my hand
Yeah.
when we're walking in a place with multiple people,
Yeah.
I stress out. I don't care if I'm running late or not.
But would you give a shit about him if you had 78 other children that you're
Like,
trying
maybe
to
you
drag
should have
on an
taken. Maybe you
airplane?
should have taken a knee, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you have too many kids. Okay. You got
Hey, it
way
was the
too much money.
90s.
Way
They were
too
able
much,
to afford that giant ass house
that enormous house and bringing everybody you know on fucking
on a vacation and affording
twice.
first class tickets. Well, they
Also,
saved
they're
the money on
They're going to
coach.
Paris the first, or are they going to Paris the second time?
No, they went to Florida the
second
first time. Florida was the first time, and then it was Paris the second time, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that right? Because I think
Yeah,
I thought
that
it was-
makes sense because
I
they
thought it was
like take
Paris
the
the
weirdest
first.
way back. No, because they have to take like a fucking everything to get back.
No, I think it's the other way around. I think it's Paris the first time and Florida the second time.
No, because what's her name?
I gotta look this up.
Catherine O'Hara catches like a random, like, she goes with John Candy and they
Yeah.
like drive up.
Yeah, I know,
So
but
how-
she had to get there. How does she go? Yeah, the first one they're in Paris, and she just takes whatever flight she can get
okay, and then
back
has to figure out. Okay.
to the States,
Got
and then
it.
has to find a way to get back to Chicago after
Got it.
that. And they wait for the first available flight, which is like a few hours, like Christmas Eve, like late Christmas
I
Eve.
see. Okay.
But yeah, also, man, you took everybody to Paris the first time, and you
Yeah.
take them to fucking
Florida.
Florida the
Yeah.
second time.
Scale up. Like that's a weird thing for a sequel. Like what?
Well, because they pissed away all the money to Paris and they need to
Right.
wheel it in for
Yeah,
the second
yeah,
one.
Maybe
right.
that's
They
exactly
spent a
right.
little bit too much.
Or
Yeah.
they're just like, you know what? Maybe we'll get back faster if we're in the States and we
Yeah.
forget Kevin
Yeah.
again. Kevin's not here.
Still fucked it up.
God.
Just Buzz is such an asshole. Such an asshole.
Yeah.
And so is Uncle. I just like, fuck you, Uncle Frank. You're like Grandpa Joe. You're you are useless.
Yeah.
You are a waste of life, and you are bringing this family down.
Yeah.
You could have been helping
You're
people
killing
out.
this family.
You could have helped people out and said, you're a selfish prick.
You're killing your father.
Fuck you, Uncle Frank. You fucking asshole. And God, like, I just pray for Harry and Marv. Like, they just.
Yeah.
And like when he breaks the window in the second one, and like and it's in slow motion. He's
Yeah.
like, no, I definitely want. I know it exists, but somebody needs to put like the Hello Zep fucking Saw music right in that scene.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh my Christ.
Oh my God.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Thank you for letting me go off about Home Alone.
Yes, sir.
I've watched them, and I haven't watched them like beginning to end,
Yeah.
but Quentin's been watching them in chunks, and just
I love that.
it's wild.
Love that.
It's wild, and it just makes me upset. Just makes me upset.
Does he do the scream?
No, he doesn't watch that part.
He doesn't watch
But-
that part.
I know that is an integral part of the saga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love that. Oh, okay. I have one more.
Oh,
and then we
Jesus.
can turn, and then we can stop.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Sorry for this 2-hour long episode, everyone.
Tim Curry and fucking Rob Schneider. They think they think
Tim Curry and Rob Schneider.
He thinks something's up, and that he's doing credit card fraud. It's like, okay, well, he's 10. He doesn't know what credit card fraud is. But he like goes into the hotel room to find the dad and he does the fucking balloon animal thing with Uncle Frank's voice. Frank, you're upsetting me. And then he doesn't go back. He just brings like the security team the next time he sees him. If you were ballsy enough to go in when you didn't know what was going on, why don't you just go in late at night when he's sleeping, you fucking creep, and fucking walk in and be like, okay, well, no one's here but this fucking kid. Obviously, something's up. Like, why this fucking
movie's gonna movie?
Why this elaborate nonsense? Yeah. And fucking Rob Schneider.
Rob
Schneider is Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
God.
Okay, I can stop. I can keep going, but I'll stop.
Please don't. No. And would like to wish you all a most happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, crazy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. Yes.
Joyeux Noël.
Joyeux Noël.
Bon Natale.
Québécois. Bon Natale, yes. For all of you, I hope you have a really nice holidays, a happy holidays, a good relaxing time, and a good New Year's as well. And we promise we're going to be back right after New Year's. We have to wrap up this crazy ass year that we call 2023 and give you all of our top lists and stuff for the year. We all excited for that?
I'm very excited.
Very
Hell
excited.
yeah. I got to put my list together.
Get on it,
My top
motherfucker.
10. I'll get there.
Get on it.
There. I got a few more that I want to squeak in before I can give you my final list, you know?
You're gonna have time to squeak those in?
Hell yeah. I'm gonna be in California, the land of movies.
It's true.
I'm gonna watch at least a movie.
He could see like a new movie every night that will come out to Hamilton like in 2 months.
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
But yeah.
Cool.
Thanks everyone.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Wish you all the best.
Fuck Uncle Frank.
And fuck Uncle Frank.